cannot grow, you cannot improve, you cannot go to the next level. There is no man who is not in control of his sexual behavior that can call himself a 9 or a 10. Good afternoon, brothers. Welcome to another episode of Porn Reboot Coach and the Porsche. Today we're going to be talking about self-medicating with pornography. Now, if you are a business owner who is trying to scale his business to the next level, if you are a high-performing, ambitious professional who's trying to get to a new income level in his career, but you find that you're using pornography in two specific ways. Number one, you're not getting enough wins in this goal that you're trying to accomplish. So you frequently get overwhelmed because you're throwing everything you can at it, right? You're hustling hard, you're applying all the tactics, you're learning, you're going on webinars and training, speaking to coaches, getting tips and tricks, taking stuff from your mentors and applying it. But you just get so overwhelmed with the action taking that you're doing, the pure force you're using to get through this, that you end up using pornography to feel better about yourself when you get overwhelmed. That's the first scenario. And the second is because you've been trying unsuccessfully or with little spurts of success to accomplish whatever this goal is, income or business, but usually related to your professional life. Anytime that there is a little win or any day you're able to get, let's say, a lot of things done on your to-do list, you end up using pornography or some sexual behavior to celebrate. All right. If you are in that category, then this video is for you. A lot of men feel that in order to end their behavior with pornography, they have to learn some tip or trick. And that's because you think that this is just a bad habit. Interestingly enough, it's the one habit in your life that you have maintained for years, in some cases, decades. And it's the one thing that is most consistent and reliable when it comes to relieving your stress, even though at this point you may know that it has a negative impact on your life, right? If you don't know, it causes irritability, it takes away your focus, it affects your memory, it prevents you from being able to prioritize because it affects your prefrontal cortex. You just don't get enough, you don't have enough neural connections there, and so you don't have enough dopamine in that area. It affects your sex life via point-of-use erectile dysfunction, where you're only able to masturbate, get hard when you view high-speed internet pornography. But when it comes to a real-life woman, there's no telling if your penis will work. Many of you are already dependent on the little yellow pill and the little blue pill, and you're young. By young, I mean that you are under the age of 50 years old, and you already need it for every sexual encounter. That is a direct impact of pornography on your life. Right? So you're never able to use healthy coping strategies to manage your stress because you are engaging in a behavior that has completely rewired your neurochemistry and your biochemistry. And that's impacting you. Brother, this is not something that you can quit by watching a couple of videos on YouTube. I know I'm saying this and you watch my videos on YouTube, but those are the facts. I'm not going to lie to you. It is something, especially if you are an ambitious professional or a business owner, it is something that is going to require a lifestyle change because this behavior is not just connected. It's not just about sexual behavior. It is about multiple things. It stretches into different areas of your life. It stretches into your emotional life. It stretches into your mental health, your ability to focus and be self-aware of certain emotions. It stretches into your family life and your social life, right? A mentor of mine told me a couple of years ago when I was stuck when it came to some of my other businesses, I just couldn't grow, right? I was just using willpower to try and force my way through it and hustle harder. And I told him I tried everything. You know, if you've ever gotten to that point where you try to solve a problem, you've applied everything. So you're in this jaded place where when someone's trying to help you, you say, yeah, I tried that. I tried that and it didn't work. Well, he just told me something very simple. So simple, but it just made all the difference. Maybe it was time for me to hear that. He said, JK, in order to 10x your business, you have to 20x your life. I know. It sounds so basic and trite, but it was what I needed to hear. And it's very relevant to you. Many of you put so much focus, you invest so much money on your professional skills, on coaches who are going to help you in your business, but you are not investing enough in you. And you cannot grow, you cannot improve, you cannot go to the next level if you do not 20x your life, your personal life, your habits that you have in your life, your self-belief, your subconscious mind, the way you react and respond to the adversities of life, your mental toughness, your mental resilience. There are a lot of you who run client-facing businesses where you work with clients. Sometimes you work with other businesses and you really want to work with the 8s, 9s, and 10s in these areas, right? The 9s and the 10s who are clients in terms of however you rate them, in terms of value. But the problem is that you're a 6 at best. Like at best, you're a fucking 6. Some of you are even delusional enough to think that you are a 9 or a 10 in some cases, right? When in reality, on the days that you get enough rest, when you've been off porn for a couple of weeks, when things are going well with you and your wife, on those days, you're just a solid 7. But you still expect, as the years go by, to work with 9s or 10s. But you cannot work with 9s or 10s until you yourself are a 9 or a 10. And the 9 or being a 9 or a 10 has very little to do with your professional skills. It has little to do. Once you're at a 6 or 7, you can solve most people's problems. But at the next level, they're looking at the person. They want to know who you are or what is your organization about? How does this person make me feel? And how does this person's organization make me feel? And that all comes down to you, the leader. So, what are you? Are you a 6? Are you a 9? Are you a 10? And this has everything, brother, to do with your behavior with pornography. There is no man who is not in control of his sexual behavior that can call himself a 9 or a 10. There are a lot of men who pretend to be 9s or 10s, but the truth is that it's only what you see on the surface. Trust me on this, because I work with a lot of men like this. I work with a lot of men who have come in and we're just like, oh shit, this dude seems like a solid 9, but he ain't a 9. His skills are up there, the way he presents himself with his beautiful family, and he's so well known and blah blah blah, but it's all a facade. When you clean it up, what you find is a dude who is just a 6 or a 7. And that's because he's not controlling his behavior with pornography. That's because he's not living in integrity. That's because he doesn't have good habits. That's because he's not in control of his emotions. He's always reacting to them and using pornography to medicate them. You have to change that, brother. So my message to you today, gentlemen, is that in order for you to 10x your business or your career, to step past that problem, simply ask yourself a very simple question. Is pornography still one of my major coping strategies? Am I self-medicating with it? If you are, then chances are it is the one thing that is holding you back. I cannot emphasize this enough. All right? That's my message for you today. I'd love to hear back from you in the comment section. And listen, if you're ready to end your out of control behavior, there's a link in the description below to schedule a call with one of my team members who are all in control of their behavior. Do that, and let's see if you're a good fit for one of our programs. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'll speak to you later on in the week.